2000 and almost said 13. 2018. I can do this. 2018. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Had a lot of things I was gonna say, and then promptly forgot what I was gonna say. I'm good at this. So, hello. It is 2018. And last year was a hard year. Trying to figure out how to make it better isn't the easiest thing to do. You know? Like, I recognize that I am still going to deal with my depression and my anxiety and all the fears and stress that goes with having depression and anxiety. Like, that doesn't just magically change because the year changed. It doesn't even magically change because I've decided I don't want to feel the way I've been feeling this past year. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just, oh, you've changed what you want. But I wish it was that easy. Oh, I wish it was that easy. It's not, right? So I can't just expect it to magically be fixed or magically be different. I've kind of got to work for it. So heading into the new year, I'm trying to make some changes that are going to help, right? And some of those are smaller changes, and some of those are bigger changes, and some of them have to do with just myself personally, and others have to do with my projects. So I suppose the question is, what are the big ones to mention that are going to affect, well, this? I'm trying to improve my health. I'm trying to get more exercise. I'm trying to make sure I'm drinking more water. I'm trying to actually have a sleep schedule that allows me to function as a human being. And right now, the way I'm sort of looking at it is I'm going to do it as if I was still in classes, or I was working like a 9-to-5 job type thing, which is to say I'll be more regimented on the weekdays and let myself have the weekend, right? So that I'm not just locking myself down is going to cause more problems. And different problems from just doing whatever I feel like, right? So, electronics on Sunday to Thursday night, off at 9, because that's not helping my sleep schedule. Having a screen I'm staring at, and staring at, and staring at, and then it's 1 in the morning, and then, not a good plan. So, electronics are going to go off at 9, and I can stay up past that point. I can read. God, I want to read. I want to read so badly. I can do Sudoku. I'm looking at my desk, which I just cleaned today because it's the new year and I shouldn't have done that for several months already. So that's my basic plan, is electronics go off, and then I'm setting my alarm and I'll be getting up. And I did this thing today where I set up an Excel spreadsheet with just columns for all the projects I'm working on and all the things I want to do. So education, employment, writing, self-care, exercise, getting out of the apartment. And I set it all up. And now I'm tracking myself, basically. Trying to find some way that I can hold myself accountable and be able to look back and say, like, yeah, I'm achieving some of my goals by doing these things. And hopefully, again, having a more regimented sleep schedule, at least for those weekdays, then I can start, again, treating it as I'm getting up and doing something. And that's maybe some exercise, or doing some writing, or, you know, there is going to be a point where the thesis comes back into it when I get that back, right? Like, it's going to be the longer projects in that, which are going to be helped by that smaller project of actually, you know, sleeping properly. And then things like exercise and having a more productive day is going to help with sleeping, because I know I have problems sleeping at night when I feel like I haven't gotten anything done that day. So I'm sort of hoping it's a more positive cycle I'll be able to get myself into, having dealt with a more negative cycle this past year, right? So that's my plan. I'm going to get myself into a more positive cycle, which brings me to the next thing. What projects am I working on? Well, I've mentioned a couple. My thesis, of course, is my main concern right now. But right now I'm also at the hurry up and wait point, where it is off with another reader. She's the person we're waiting for a sign-off on, and then I should be able to start working on applying to defend it and things like that. So that's going to be a priority when it gets back to me. I'm working on writing, and that's on several levels. My big one, of course, is my novel trilogy. So I want to get Wolves edited fully and start seeing if I can submit that. I want Eagles to get finished, and then start doing editing on Eagles. And as always, Ravens is there, stewing in my head. So, I mean, once Eagles gets written, Ravens would be next, right? But there's also other projects I want to work on, short stories and things like that. So, to get some writing projects done would just be fantastic. And I'm going through it. Driving is the next thing. I am planning on learning fully how to drive this year, because I got my G1 last year, so sometime middle of summer this year I should be able to test for my G2, and I'm going to actually take driver's ed, which means that date will get moved up for when I can take my G2, and driver's ed hopefully will just help me be more comfortable, you know, actually driving. So that's a big project, and I count that in the education vein, and because I'm not, education isn't purely like academic university field education. Like, education might be, today I was teaching myself how to use Excel in different ways, right? And it's going to be learning how to drive. So one of the next big things for me is finding driver's ed, and getting myself signed up for it, and actually doing driver's ed. So I've got my writing, I've got driving, and then the other big thing, of course, is YouTube, because I want to keep this channel going, and I want to do more on it than just these vlogs. So I really liked doing the HP with a BA videos, so I've decided I'm just going to keep doing something like that. So I'd like to welcome the new show to the channel, which I am titling Book&Page, and it's a lot like the HP with a BA video. I'm going to be reading different things, and it's not just going to be literature. I'm hoping to spread out, because I have interest in different fields and would love to talk about it. Literature is probably going to be the more in-depth stuff, because it's not like philosophy or political science, where if you don't understand it, then you don't understand it. Like, there's more interpretation to literature. But I'd love, again, to be able to talk philosophy and political science, as well. So that will be starting up this January, like end of January at the latest, but I'm hoping to get to it sooner. There's a few steps involved. First, I'm actually getting some editing programming because I'm still using the old laptop. For that, I want to get something on my new one, and so I'll have to teach myself how to use whichever program I end up picking up to do what I want to do. So that's going to be something involved. I am looking at getting a new camera and tripod because currently that camera is sitting on a stack of books, some of which I would love to do Book&Page on. So there's some movement forward in this project. It just may take a little more time to actually get started on it because planning is a thing. My first book for Book&Page actually will be J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. So I'm starting with the shorter one. I would love to do Lord of the Rings further down the road, but I'm going to start with The Hobbit because it's one that a lot more people know and have read. It's not as imposing as Lord of the Rings, and then we'll see where we go from there. My author after that, I'm sort of tempted to do one of Plato's dialogues, so we'll see how that planning goes. Yeah, but we're going to start with J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. Update schedule for that will be Sunday and Wednesday. I haven't picked a time yet. I really should pick a specific time, but I'm also looking for work, so if I do get anything, that will affect time scheduling, but it's Wednesday and Sunday at the latest end of January. But again, if the stars align, and by stars align I mean, again, with the recognition it's not just going to happen for me, I'm going to have to go out and do these things. The hope is earlier than that. Wednesday and Sunday, Book&Page. I'm excited. This is something that's sort of been stewing in my head for a while. And like I said, a lot of last year was a whole lot of, that would be really cool, and then just me not doing it, which is something I'm trying to get better at. So all my plans for this year might not work out perfectly. They never do, but I'm working towards it, and I'm not going to tell myself no as much, right? I had this realization towards the end of this past year that I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody who spoke to me the way I tend to speak to myself. And that's sort of like a horrific thing to realize about yourself. Like, you're treating yourself that badly that it would end a friendship. Because the key person that you should be friends with, first and foremost, is yourself. And I realized I wasn't being a good friend to myself. So, moving forward with the small steps, with the sleeping schedule, with making sure I'm drinking more water, making sure I'm getting out and getting some exercise, along with the bigger things, working on my projects and honestly believing in them, and investing in them, like, is a confidence boost I think I needed for myself. And then the confidence of others will come after that, right? So that's my plan. So, can I summarize? Last year wasn't good. I wasn't good to myself, and I don't expect that to magically change, but I certainly want to be better. So, changing lifestyle for myself on the small end, and things that are going to affect what you're seeing here on the channel. I'm actually going to be learning how to drive, so you'll probably hear updates about how terrifying I find that experience. I'm working on my writing, and Book&Page as a new channel, as a new show on the channel. So keep your eye out for the Hobbit Book and Page coming up, and wish me luck, and wish you luck, and treat yourself well. Say yes when you honestly need yourself to say yes, and say no when that is honestly what you need to say. Okay. Hello, 2018. Why don't you and I talk? And I'll see you next time. Bye.